Hey guys, Scripture here with another video, and I wanted to discuss this Jennifer Lawrence interview. I only have a few clips in here. The interview itself, I know everybody's making like this huge deal about it. It's all over Twitter and it's all over social media about, oh, Jennifer Lawrence. And she talked about Trump or something, and everyone's like freaking out. The reality of it is this interview is very boring, okay? That's why I selected certain things so you don't have to see the boredom of this interview. And basically, this is a person who is still in the middle of figuring things out. So a lot of people are presenting this as if she's just changed into this super mature older lady and she has kids and blah, 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 blah. No, she's getting there. But she's still sucked in, right? She's very much in a bubble. She's still completely sucked in. So let's talk about it. Let's see what she has to say and have a discussion.
I mean, I do have moments where I'm like, what technically are the differences between me and a prostitute? But it doesn't keep me up at night.
What?
I don't think that there's anything wrong with prostitution either.
I'm not saying that there is.
So right off the hop, right? Like, this is ridiculous. The context, I'm going to give you the context too. I don't want to do her dirty by not giving you the context. The context is she's... in the new movie she's in, there's some nudity, and the interviewer was saying, it's very kind of raw and rough, and it's not like, quote, good kind of nudity or whatever. And then she says, the whole prostitution thing. And then she says, there's nothing wrong with that. So that's kind of what I was getting at earlier. Like, you're still very, very immature in your feelings. That industry ruins people. Ruins women. It's dangerous. There's grape. There's essays. There's beatings coming from pimps. There's all sorts of things. That is a horrid industry. But the problem is, if you're in Hollywood and you're in a bubble and you're used to seeing movies about it, it makes you think that there's some sort of glamour involved in it. And it's not. In the real world, it's horrible. Absolutely horrible. I am speaking from somebody who has a sister-in-law who was in that industry for a few years. And it's not pretty. It's awful. It's horrible. In many ways, it negatively affected her life in ways that I can't even... Like, think about the most crazy ways. It's awful. And so for these rich celebrities to be, it's good, I like it. Like, what's with women today? And I know this isn't my typical stuff. I talk about Star Wars, but guys, can someone explain to me why women do this? Like, do you really think in their heart of hearts that this interviewer and Jennifer Lawrence actually think that there's nothing wrong with it? Like, do they really believe that? Is their bubble so tight that they just don't understand what's going on in the world? Like, what is happening in that industry all over the world, the trafficking, everything else that goes along with it? Do they not understand that? Do they not understand that it is feeding into the most base desires of men? Like, do they not, are you just, like, off in space somewhere, people? Like, what's wrong with you? How do they not understand that? But of course, they're, when you're rich and you're young, like, she's still pretty young. She's had a couple kids, but she still looks good, all those things. She just is completely oblivious to the reality of what that industry does to people. And it's an exploitation of everybody, the men too. Everyone's exploited. It's awful. And she's acting like it's like, there's nothing wrong with it. And if you're listening to this and you think it's perfectly normal and fine, good, whatever, do your thing. I don't care. But you need to do some research into how this negatively impacts people. Because it's terrible. I mean, think about it. There's diseases that are being spread. On and on and on. And, there's nothing wrong with that. And what is with women? Like, they can't just say it's bad. I don't understand it. What is wrong with people? Like, the interviewer's like, you're right, yeah, it's not that bad. It's not, it's like, dude, yes, it is. It's horrible. Like, what are you talking about? You idiots.
I'm a lot more nervous about whatever I say publicly.
Well, and, this is not because she's somehow transformed into this more mature individual. I'm not saying she isn't more mature. I'm sure she is. If you have kids and all that stuff, you get older. But that's not why. It's because she said stupid stuff. Remember when she said that she was the first female action star? She actually believed that in her brain. Somebody told her that, or she believed that. And she said that. And it was like, what are you, 5? Like, you're supposed to be an actor. You should know the history of film. Like, you should understand that there's been many women that are action stars, going back to Wonder Woman, going to Terminator and Sarah Connor. Like, there's so many, it's ridiculous. So I don't think this is one of those things where it's like, I'm more mature now, and so I've said stupid stuff so many times that I'm not going to keep saying stupid stuff. That's my take. Let me know what you think in the comment section.
I mean, do you think as a sort of female artist that you have been treated differently than perhaps other, men?
I feel it when it's time for women to be the morality police. It's easy for me to see it when it's happening, when somebody does a Woody Allen movie and they only ask the women, well, how do you feel about working with Woody Allen? And you can just watch it. You can just watch not one male actor get asked that question. And I see that.
Well, and there's a reason for that. Because Woody Allen's a weirdo, dude. He's a creep, man. Like, everyone knows it. Everyone knows, but nothing ever happens. He seems to just sort of be able to get away with it. But everybody knows. So, Jennifer, the reason they're asking you is because this is a straight man who has a proclivity towards very young women. This is not something that no one knows about. So, of course, they're going to ask you. And, I agree. I don't think that the women in Hollywood should be the morality police, because if they were really moral, they wouldn't do movies with them. But they do them anyway, because their morality is trumped by the paycheck and by the fame, right? Oh, it's a Woody Allen movie. He's so famous. I can get more and more famous and make more and more money, even though he's a creepy weirdo and he might do something to me that I don't really like. But oh well, it's just so important for me to be so awesome. And it's just like, it's like this thing with celebrity women. I don't know what it is, but they just have this weird contradiction in their ideology that just does not make any sense.
It's really easy to hate women viciously in a way that it's almost like we have this ire in us that specifically there's like an extra pocket for it, and the ire that people are capable of.
I like that she didn't come full out and say that it's women against other women here about like the ire and the anger towards each other, but she did allude to it strongly enough. And this is where I actually appreciate what she's saying, because the reality of it is this vitriol that comes from that is directed towards women is almost, well, I wouldn't say exclusively, but it's generally speaking coming from other women. It's like when women say like, oh, well, I have to wear all this makeup because the men. No, you're doing that because the women, because they are vicious and competitive, and you don't want to be judged. You don't want to show up looking haggard because the other women will be like, oh my gosh, look at how disgusting she is, and then the rumors will start and blah 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 blah. That's the reality. She does allude to it. I'll give her that. We all know that's the case. I mean, maybe if, any of us with any life experience fully understand that's the reality. Like I always say to people, like when I don't know if Cosmopolitan is still a magazine, let me know in the comment section, but when I was a kid, that was like a big women's magazine. And it presented this ideal woman and all this stuff. And then there were girls, I remember when I was a kid, that were like, oh, that's so disgusting. These men expect me to look like this and do it. It's like, no, lady. The articles in that magazine are written by women and gay guys. There's no regular straight dudes writing in Cosmopolitan. Never. It's women and gay dudes. So I'm sorry, but it's your own fault. You're literally in the bed you made.
I never at any point felt like this is unfair because of my gender. I felt like this is unfair because you created this.
So in the context of this one is she's talking about like filming and directors and how women and men are treated and blah, 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 blah. And again, I appreciate the fact that she's not she's moving past that whole thing where she was like, I'm the first female action. Like, she's not having the pity party, which is good. That this is a positive step. But like I said at the beginning, that does not mean we've reached full maturity yet. We're still working on it. But there is at least, a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. She's getting there. And part of the reason I did this video, guys, is I've been a fan of her, like, as an actor. I think she's funny. I think she's kind of silly and dumb sometimes, and the tripping and falling and all this stupid stuff. Like, I don't like look down on somebody like that. She has a funny personality. I like some of the movies she's in. Okay, so that's basically. But again, she's not there yet, but she's getting there.
I'm not sensitive. I don't know how you can be in this industry. Like,
so there, it's like, yeah, you are. Like that little laugh at the end. Yeah, you are. You're still very sensitive, and that's why you're not spouting off anymore. And you've said that I'm not going to do that anymore because of the sensitivities. There's nothing wrong with that. You can direct your sensitivities in a positive way, and I think in some respects she is doing that. But I mean, I'm not trying to lump her in with every other actor in the world, but most of them are quite sensitive. They get very butthurt, and there's an ego attached to that, and the stardom and all those things. And many of them take every little thing to heart. And I would suspect she's slowly moving away from that, but that still probably is an aspect of her personality right now.
Right. I guess I don't mean anything I say. Do you still want to continue interviewing me?
Well, and there you go. Like, and I don't need to give context for that. That's what she says. Is that she's basically, I guess, making it up as she goes along still. So, I mean, again, there's a level of growth here, but it's not exactly, magnificent or profound. It's meh. It's a little bit. It's a bit. And the thing about it is like, in the real world, like, you guys let me know in the comment section, but like in the real world, oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes when people have kids and they get older, they're kind of almost forced, or it just kind of happens that you kind of grow and you mature. But I don't find that in Hollywood that's really the case. I mean, a lot of these women that have all these kids, and men, their kids are props. Like, they're still, it's all about them still, and they use their kids, and they make a show of it, which is gross in my opinion. And it still reflects this sort of narcissistic, it's all about me approach. I think in her case, she is moving away from that. Like I said, though, I think there's still some of that in there.
The first Trump administration was so wild, and just how can we let this stand? Like, I felt like I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But as we've learned, election after election, celebrities do not make a difference whatsoever on who people vote for.
There you go. So now she's starting to get it. And they don't. And the reality of it is you think it was wild and crazy, but a lot of other people didn't. Right? And you're in a gated community, right? You're a multimillionaire in a gated community, completely separated and away from the issues that people actually care about. Which is, I'm not American, but I would guess is why they voted him in, right? Like, they don't want, like, for example, I'll give you an example. The whole, like, illegal immigrant thing and the ICE thing, okay? The border towns along Texas that are, like, 90% Hispanic voted for Trump. It has nothing to do with skin tones or even culture. It's they see people coming in that shouldn't be there taking jobs from their kids and from their families, right? That's essentially what it comes down to. And so you don't understand those people, right? So her entire worldview, and this is kind of a boomer worldview, really, is all based on mainstream media. There's no looking into things over here and finding out over here what people really think and why. However, I will give her this, at least she understands. She's reached that point. Just shut up. I've been saying this in videos forever. Just shut up. Mark Hamill used to be a beloved actor, but he wouldn't shut up. And so now nobody really likes him in real life. we appreciate Luke Skywalker, but nobody likes the guy. He's a nut. He just won't shut up. Just shut up. Do your job. right? Like, do your job. And then you can have your views. Absolutely. Have your views. Vote however you want. Do your thing. But you don't have to talk about it to everybody and constantly be bringing it up. So fully appreciate that she has finally reached the point where she realizes how stupid that is and that nobody really does care what your opinion is about politics. You're an actor. You're separate. You're in a gated community. You don't know anything that's going on. You are completely in a bubble.
I don't want to start turning people off to films and to art that could change consciousness or change the world because they don't like my political opinions. I want to protect my craft.
Okay, but you just said that you think that your movies are going to change how people think about the world, but then at the same time, Hollywood is totally on one side. Basically, I mean, there's a handful of people that have come out on the other side, and you're not winning. People are pushing that away. They don't want what you think they should want. So you're contradicting yourself in the sense that you're saying, I want to protect myself. Okay, fair enough. That's fair. I like that. But then you're saying, but I want to also keep my mouth shut so that we can have an influence, but you don't have an influence. Like, you literally don't. Like, there's proof. Nobody is, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's probably some, like, dumb people that, you know, oh my gosh, well, Jennifer Lawrence said to vote this way, so I'm going to do that, or something. Like, there's probably some, like, a very small number, but generally speaking, no one cares, and your movies are not going to impact the way people vote. People aren't complete idiots. And so I don't understand if, like, Hollywood people think that, like, they're smarter than everybody else, or that they're dumb, so they think everybody else is dumb too, and so they think that people are like, oh, I watched that movie, and therefore that's going to shape my worldview. It's like, no, it's just a stupid movie, man.
It feels, the second term feels different, you know, because it's like, we all knew he said what he was going to do. We knew what he did for 4 years. He was very clear. And that's what we chose. Again.
Okay, but see, you're still viewing it as like, those people, I can't believe those people did that. That's how I interpret this, right? And I've watched the whole interview. I can't believe those people thought that way. I can't believe they went back to the well that we already went to. What's wrong with these people? And it's like, dude, again, you don't understand what's going on the ground, right? So, like, the crime, like, you're so separated from what's going on in inner cities and the crimes and the murders and the problems and the guns and the illegal stuff and the drug. Like, you are in a bubble. You do not understand. And all this to say, guys, like, if you are being influenced by people on TV, you need to stop. They don't understand. They're so separated. That's why they can latch on to mainstream media narratives, because they don't experience anything. They don't even know what it's like. Literally have no clue. Like, I would have no clue either. If I was worth $50 million and I was living in the Hollywood Hills, I would have absolutely no clue what is going on in central LA. Because I don't go there. I go to the studio, somebody drives me, right? I have housekeepers. I don't do anything. Right? Like, the only information I get is from when I turn my TV on, right? If I'm that person. So she's right in the sense that she realizes that the average person doesn't care what she thinks. But she's wrong in the sense that you can kind of tell that she still is in a disbelief mode as to why people see America and the world the way they do and why they want certain changes made. She just can't fathom that. But again, if you were on the ground, you might have a different perspective. You might not. I'm sure there's lots of people that are on the ground that don't have that perspective, right? Or that share her perspective on the world and politics and blah, 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 blah. But those that went the way that she disagrees with, they didn't do it for no reason. They have their reasons. They're not just stupid idiots. Well, some of them are. Some people are just dumb on both sides. But you know what I mean? So she's reached a point where she's getting there. That's the whole point I'm trying to make here. Like, she's not there. She's still got that like Hollywood immaturity, and I don't know that'll ever go away, because you look at people like Meryl Streep and like people that have been that are old now. They're still totally out of touch with regular people. They just have no concept of what average everyday people go through in their lives. They're just so separated. So this may be as far as she ever gets, but she is slowly getting there, and maybe, just maybe, she'll be one of those people that reaches a point of that real maturity level that understands that, hey, there's reasons why people do this and that and the other thing, and maybe I could look into that and understand that rather than sort of sticking my nose up or what have you. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comment section what you think. If you like this content, please like, subscribe. Always helps the channel. Feel free to check anything else on my channel. Have yourselves a really good day.